Authorities in Mauritius are assessing the damage after Cyclone Belal brought high winds, torrential rain and flooding to the Indian Ocean island. There was considerable flooding even before a warning of the approaching cyclone was raised up to the maximum level. The storm rolled past the island into the Ocean island, but still widespread destruction. Navin Mahadoo is the head of programs for the Mauritius Red Cross. Navin, good afternoon to you. How bad has the damage been from the cyclone?
Good afternoon, Stephen. And so, fortunately, I think that we have been a bit fortunate because when the cyclone passed through its nearest point to Mauritius yesterday, the cyclone has made a lot of infrastructural damage, and also many people were trapped in their cars in the capital city. This is due to the unexpected amount of rain that has been falling in few hours just before the cyclone alerts were waved to Cyclone Class 2 and then Class 3. So actually we are still in the first phase of impact assessment, and to the first instance we can say that the infrastructure of the capital city has suffered a lot, and even till now there are some like 5,000 families who are not connected to electricity.
So when you have people stuck in their cars, did anyone die? Was anyone badly hurt by what happened? I mean, the flooding and the pictures that we've seen looks incredible.
In fact, unfortunately, we haven't had any death reported to these people trapped in their car. But unfortunately, there was one people who died, but it was not at the capital city. It was in the periphery of the fortress, where unfortunately he was washed out. He was on his motorcycle and was washed out and was brought unfortunately under a bus that was moving. But at that point in time, it was like around 10:30 when an enormous amount of rain started to pour on Port-Louis, the capital, and within minutes, the amount of rain that came from Signal Mountain and rushed into the capital was extremely disastrous. And according to the press and also to insurance companies, over 100 cars has been damaged.
And the water that flows into Port Louis like that, into the capital, does it flow out again quite quickly, or do you have to wait for the floodwater to drain away?
So this is what happened, because Port Louis has been built, if you understand by history, was built by the French, and most of these drains have its capacity of evacuating water from the capital city to the sea. But it was designed and it was renovated because since we had the first flooding in 2013, many infrastructural construction has been made to increase the capacity of this drain. But according to the Met Services, the amount of rain, that is, the flux of water was so enormous that it couldn't evacuate these amount of water. And fortunately, with Belal, the Cyclone Belal nearby, we had high tides, and unfortunately, high tides coinciding with this large amount of water didn't have the impact that we wished. So all the water had taken time to evacuate Port-Louis.
And when you talk about, flooding going back that time, are you finding that this kind of flooding is happening more often? Are we seeing an impact of climate change here?
I think that I would say that we are already experiencing the effect of climate change, because to my opinion, Port-Louis, which was known to be one of the driest regions of Mauritius, is now getting more and more rain compared to other regions where we have, for example, some natural reservoirs, where we have also man-made built reservoirs and dams. They are now getting less water. So this means that the rain catchment area is being changing, and also the trend of these flash floods. For example, it is known that January and February are the most rainy season, but we were expecting to have long periods of rain, but now we are getting like hundreds of millimeters of rain within 1 hour, which was not, we weren't used to that.
Thank you very much indeed. Navin Mahadoo is the head of programs at the Red Cross in Mauritius.